Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is the full moon in April, which is called the pink moon. It's called the pink moon because it is named for the pink blossoms that start to grow in spring. It is a time of rebirth and renewal, just like spring itself. The full moon is usually about completion. New moon is when you plan for what you want to occur between the new moon and the full moon. So the full moon is actually the end of that phase. So at this point, what you had intended from the new moon, your goals that you set, should hopefully have come to fruition on the full moon. So usually it is a time of fulfillment, completion, celebration, and on top of that, you can also do cleansings, charging, like if you have crystals, charge crystals. I do that unless it's raining because I like to do it outside. Some people just put it in their window, but with all of my my pets, it's especially our window box, that's where all the cats go. So I like to have it outside if I can, and we're getting rain most full moons lately. Last month I got lucky though. It's a time for healing, protection. When I was much younger, my girlfriends and I would spend every full moon focusing a lot on what we want to get out of our life. So we would do like little rituals to cleanse. So we would write it down. Sometimes we would burn them. Make sure you're doing this in a fireproof container or outside, fire pit, fireplace, that kind of thing. Sometimes we would put it in running water to float away. Some things I do now is I bury them. Depending what you choose, it's going to affect the speed of what you want happening. So if you plant something, if you bury something, that takes more time. If you need it or want it quicker, you want your thing to happen quicker, you running water. Fire is like the quickest, but running water, that's very good for cleansing. So like when we were very young, it'd be like, you know, get rid of your boyfriend's stuff, you know, so stuff like that, which is important for some relationships like that. You need to get rid of the energies. So that is an important thing. And today is also a super moon. So it is the closest to the earth because the moon has a semi-elliptical path around the earth. It's not completely circular, it's somewhat elliptical. So at certain points of the year, it does get closest to the earth. So tonight is the brightest and largest moon we will have for 2020. The moon is in Libra. I'm feeling it very strongly because I am a Libra. My sun sign is Libra, but also my moon is in Libra. I have been needing a lot of alone time, and that is hard during lockdown and isolation, quarantine, whatever you want to call it. Everyone's home and everyone's cabin fever energies running high, you know. So for everyone, during this time, during this moon in Libra, it is a time for, especially with the way we have to live our life right now during our quarantine, you have to adjust our boundaries, set them where you need them for your own well-being and others' well-being, and also change how we react to other people, because it's two ways. So be more aware of yourself both ways. What you need some time away, but also be careful in how you're reacting with these high energy times, such as the full moons for a lot of people, especially like kids. And then there's certain signs that are more affected, like people who are born with Cancer as their sun sign tend to be more affected by the moon. I was just outside and I was hearing the coyotes howling away. We have a lot of coyotes across the street. So it is a true thing. You talk to any policemen or nurses or doctors. My family has a lot of nurses, and they'll tell you that everyone is affected by the full moon, whether you realize it or not. When you're aware, you can change. So that's important. So let's see. It is officially at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tonight is the time where it is officially the full moon. And then it will start to wane and go back towards the new moon. So today I just thought I would do a reading with Moonology, which I am not too familiar with. My husband got these for me November, December, so with everything going on, I haven't used it too often. So I'm going to use these cards, and then Butterfly for Life Changes Oracle Deck by Doreen Virtue, which I haven't used that often either. I've had trouble connecting with her decks, and now I know why. She has been wishy-washy on her beliefs, and she kind of has released all these kinds of her from her past, and she has her own new path now. So I think her release from these will help a lot of people like me be able to connect better with them. At least that's my hope. We'll see tonight, right? Okay, so let me start. I'm going to do them both together. So let me shuffle, and if I have to edit it out because it takes too long or too loud, that'll be why. Okay, so these are the cards that I pulled for the past. So we have Parental Care and Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back. So basically everything has been a flip. Children have been worrying about their parents, checking up on them. If they're higher risk, they're making sure that they're staying home, making sure they have food, making sure they have their medicine. And don't let your past hold you back. So if there's something, bad blood or some toxicity going on there, people are still taking care of their parents. They're making sure they're taken care of, and they're taking care of themselves, more importantly. And then we have Decisions, Hold Your Vision. So it is saying that decisions were made and they did not give up. They stood their ground. They made these decisions. Maybe this is deciding whether or not you were going to go to work, whether or not you're going to stay home, or maybe it's the government deciding, okay, we're going to lock this down. This and this and this is not allowed, etc. Okay, so they're holding their ground. Decisions were made. Seeking and finding a win-win outcome is forecast, which is full moon in Libra. Pink moon too. Quite funny. Seeking and finding a win-win outcome is forecast. Everyone was just all over looking for medicines and hoping for vaccines, and even reading online for conspiracy theories. This can't be true. This can't be happening. Everyone just wants a win-win outcome. They don't want what's happening to be real. So they're just seeking and finding the things that made them feel better, which isn't always bad. Conspiracy theories can be bad, but sometimes they can soothe people, but it's not a good thing to get into. Okay, so let me get over to the presents. Let me pause. Okay, so presently, these are the cards that I pulled. So we have emotions are running high, finances, everyone is worried about their finances. They want their checks from the government that they're being promised, and there's been some delay because of just going back and forth trying to decide on how to pass it. That is here in the United States. Other countries are figuring out how to do it. I heard Spain is going to do a universal salary for everyone. That's what they're talking about. So obviously everyone being stuck home, not being able to work, and then of course medical bills on top of it in the US. Everyone is upset about it. Emotions are running high. It's been all over the news. It's been on everyone's mind. Presently, because we are at home, most of us, or I don't know what the percentage of us in US is, but those of us that are able to stay home, we're able to finally just stand still and think and go within. Healing from the past. A new start is coming, so it's like a rebirth. So people are just finally able to deal with the stuff that they haven't been able to face because they've been too busy. Work, commute, bills, sports, you had all these distractions, and now you have to face what you're supposed to face and heal. And then your new start is coming. Okay, and we got volunteer fiery climax approaches. I'm not sure if this is going to be the end, but in the US, we're talking about a lot of peaks for the virus. And I know in New Jersey, our Governor Murphy has asked for volunteers. If you have like a nursing degree in the past, if you're like retired, if you have any credentials like you could help on the front line, please help with what you can, because they're gonna need a lot, because we're coming to it. They're saying the next couple weeks, this week, next week, because New York is very close to us. They're supposed to peak first, and then us. We're number 2 with the most amount of ill. So that's presently. They're asking for volunteers for the peak. Okay, so let me move on to future, and I will pause. Okay, these are the cards that I pulled for the future. We have spiritual growth. It's a time to release negativity, just like how I mentioned in the present. I guess this is still gonna be up in front, but still needs to be done. So that's important to remember. Realizations and epiphanies believe in the impossible. So we're going to come to a lot of realizations through our spiritual growth, of course, and then healing from the past. And I think we're going to learn some truths, which I don't want to get into my particular thoughts, but everyone has their own epiphanies and realizations, again, being home, thinking, but also just from the news. Every day we're hearing something new, and also believe in the impossible. So maybe we'll have some epiphanies and realizations on how to fight this virus and beat it. Self-care, again, going back to our spiritual growth and releasing negativity, healing the past, for our rebirth, starting new. Self-care is very important, so make sure that you're doing this. We're very close to achieving your goal, so self-care, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Your family's at home, you're worried about your loved ones that you're not with. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're taking care of the things that you need to, spiritual growth and releasing things and healing from your past and releasing your negativity. Make sure you're doing all this, because that is a part of achieving your goal. That is a part of the whole purpose of this whole crisis, is for mankind, again, to be able to ascend this needs to happen as a whole. We need a lot more positive energy to fight and beat out all the negative energy from the illness itself, from fear, from grief. We will get through this, and when we do, we're going to come out the other side very different, like we're saying, in 5D. So that's the future. And then I have pulled some cards for advice, so let me pause and go to that. Okay, and these are the cards that I pulled for advice. So we have Windfall. The energy is gaining momentum. I looked up the meaning of this card in the book, the guidebook. It says release from financial worries and burden. So I am getting that they are saying that we won't have to worry that those checks, the government checks are coming, or the healthcare coverage for people who are ill from this virus will be covered. Do not worry. It will be covered. And just believe in that. Try not to stress about that. The energy is gaining momentum. Our government is starting to realize that this is what's going to need to happen for us to be able to move forward, especially for the economy. People are going to need those checks, and people are going to need help paying those bills, and maybe they'll see that we need universal health care. Maybe this is going to be what makes them see that, and maybe also they'll see that we need more sustainable income. Most people just cannot survive on what they make. Okay, and then there's sentimental feelings, a personal issue reaches resolution. I'm getting this has to do about grief, about people who have passed from this virus, or even just from people who've passed because of complications due to this crisis. Also grief from change of life, maybe change of job. Maybe you'll have to move. Maybe certain things will not be back at the end of this. Like, I know it sounds superficial, but there are ways of our lives, like sports. People are used to watching sports. People are used to watching other shows. A lot of that could end, depending how long these things are put on hold. Some of them might not come back. And it's okay to grieve for that. There's nothing wrong with that. You make yourself aware of them, and then you can deal with the grief, and then you release it. And definitely grieving for the people who are passing from this virus is going to be difficult, because they're not able to do funerals because not too many people are allowed together, or I'm not even sure if I don't even want to go there. But funerals are hard to do at this moment. So the advice is to grieve in whatever way you need to. Make sure you grieve for the people who passed and for our ways of life that will change as well. And then we have heavenly signs. The answers you need are coming. So they're telling us not to worry. This will be resolved. This crisis will end. We will find answers for this virus, whether it's medicine or some people are doing breathing techniques I've seen. Maybe it's a vaccine, who knows? Maybe it just goes away, like through distancing and isolation. Who knows? But they're saying, don't worry about it. The answers are coming. They mentioned heavenly signs. I When I meditate, I give my spirit guides, my angel guides, those, etc. I give them permission to give me signs when they feel they need to. So if I'm outside, I may see like a feather or leaf, or I get signs from my loved ones who have passed on. Sometimes I will see something that reminds me of them. Sometimes I will even see someone who looks like them, and I do a double take. That is them saying that they're there. They're always there. But sometimes you need a reminder. So if you do meditation, you can give permission to your guides as well, and your loved ones, your ancestors. Okay, so the bottom of the deck now. We have family changes, adjustments are required. Okay, so what we're going to see, along with everything else, our values are going to change. We're going to see what's important and what is not. The superficial, we will put aside. We will see that we don't need certain things to live, but what we do need our family. We do need our loved ones, our friends. We need them. So adjustments are required. Like I said, maybe you have to give up certain things to have more time with your family. Maybe you have to give up certain things, maybe to have grandparents move in with you, or whatever that adjustment will be. We will know at the end. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the positive things in the end of all this. I'm looking forward to seeing all the videos and pictures of all the families and friends being reunited again at the end of this. They're saying that adjustments will be required, but yeah, we can do that. We could stay in the way we have been. There's a lot more we can do. So with that, love and light to you all. Blessings to you all. I will go outside now and see if I can get a quick video of the moon for you. So goodbye for now. See you next video. Full moon blessings to all.